Yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome back to another kind of a cheap squad builder type thing on my channel. And today I'm going to be covering Liga BBVA, and now I haven't actually covered any La Liga teams or players on my channel, and quite honestly that's because I just don't like the league in general. Nothing against the league. I don't like really the players that are in it and the lack of depth that it provides for squad builders. I mean, outside of the obvious choices of like Ronaldo, Messi, Bale, Neymar, after those people, there aren't really any players to build squads around or people to build squads through in a hybrid. So I just kind of tend to avoid the league in general. But today I'm going to be looking at the second tier of players in that league. Cheaper players that you may not know of or heard of, or know that they're that cheap that you can kind of throw into different squads. So I'm going to be building two 10K teams out of this league. Some of the players will stay the same, but right now this is the first team we're going to be building around, a 4-2-2-2 with two strikers. The second team, after I show you some highlights of me using this team, we'll come back and we'll build a one striker team with some wingers out wide to show you what kind of options you have out there. So without further ado, let's get into it and meet the first team. Alright, so here is the first team we're going to be using. This team is actually really solid overall. The overall rating is an 81, with like players filling in on the bench. So all these players you can fill in, take the people off the bench and put in and keep it under 10K. Let's run through and meet the players real quick and see who we're going to be using. It's going to be Claudio Bravo in goal. Across the back, it's going to be Ansaldi, Mascherano, Matthew, and DeMarcos. In the midfield, it's going to be Rakitic, Khedira, Perez, and Isco. And then up top, it's going to be Rodrigo and Chicharito. A couple of these players I've used before, I really like. I love Chicharito. I used him a lot last in the previous FIFA, in FIFA 14. That's because he was BPL, and he was my favorite BPL striker. Khedira I use a lot in hybrids, actually, and that's only because he's German, and I build through the Bundesliga to get to a Bundesliga defense a lot. Perez I actually love. He's probably my favorite player on this team. If you look at his stats, 80 pace, 73 shooting, 78 passing, 82 dribbling, 74 defense, and 80 physical. Those are incredible stats, and I actually compare him a lot to Pogba. He has those kind of stats. And then also Rodrigo up top. I don't know if any of you watch AA9 Skills, but he just recently put out a video and he called Rodrigo the cheap Messi, and I would actually have to agree with that. Rodrigo is incredible up top. If you can't afford Messi or just don't like using those kinds of players, like I kind of stay away from those more expensive players. Rodrigo is a great option coming out of the Liga BBVA. He's a great player. I love him a lot. Some other players that are notable that I actually haven't used before are Isco and Rakitic in the cam roles. I've had them in my club forever, haven't had a chance to use them before, so I thought this is a great opportunity to use them. And they both go for under 1,000 coins, so they're great options in the 10K squad. So with that being said, let's jump in and play a couple of games. I'll show you those highlights, then we'll come back and build a one striker team and see how that works. Alright, so as always, I'll be playing my test matches with my team I built against the Team of the Week on Legendary. And this week is a really solid Team of the Week. They've got Informed Busquets, who I actually could have used in my team, the regular Busquets. He is La Liga and goes for under 1,000 coins, but I went with Khedira instead. They've also got Mertens, Schürrle, Depay, Aubameyang. They've got second Informed Harry Kane coming off the bench in that team. It's a great team. This is going to be a good test, so let's get in and play these games. Alright, so that 2-striker set worked pretty well. We're going to move on to the 1-striker set now to show you what options you have at the wing. We're actually going to go with Uche up top this time to switch things up, and then Pedro and Faguli in at the wing positions. We're going to stay with Perez and Isco in the midfield, and then we're going to bring in Rafinha to go alongside them. Across the back, we're going to switch things up just a little bit with Contrao and Juanfran coming in at the left and right back positions, with the center backs and keepers staying the same. So let's get in and play some matches. So the 1-striker formation seemed to outperform the 2-striker formation, but I believe that was due to the fact that I had more pace on the field to go up against the pace I was facing from the team of the week. This week's team of the week is one of the fastest, sweatiest, most disgusting teams I've ever faced in my life. They've got 90 pace at every position, topped off with Inform Aubameyang with 96 pace up top is ridiculous. And then Kouyaté, the center back from West Ham, was an absolute nightmare to deal with. He might be one of the best center backs I've ever faced in this game. He's got around 80 pace and his physical is off the charts. I couldn't get by him with anybody. He ran down and took the ball from anybody that tried to get by him. He was ridiculous. So if I was to make any changes at all, this is the team I would go with for the 10K La Liga value squad. I would bring Ansaldi back in the left back spot to go with DeMarcos in the right. Rafinha and Perez paired up at the CDM spots. I know Rafinha's a center attacking mid, but I've used him there before, and he holds his own in that position. I would drop Rodrigo to center forward and play him at the cam, paired up with Isco on the other side, and then Chicharito and Uche make up the dream pairing up top. The pace I had to deal with, and the pace that you're going to have to deal with on a consistent basis in this game, is always going to be a problem. So this right here, I believe, gives you the best chance to beat a pacey squad like the one I faced. As far as a 10K value squad goes, this is really one of the better ones that I've had. Mascherano, Matthew, and Bravo in the back making up the core of that defense is one of the better ones that I've had in a 10K squad. The midfield is really the weakness of this team, but it's also one of the weaknesses in La Liga overall. That's why I don't build through them when I build hybrids. There's just not a lot of option in there. The strikers, there's so many options up there at striker. You've got Chicharito, Uche, and Rodrigo that I use. There's also Dos Santos, Mandzukic, Negredo. I mean, there's just so many options at striker that you can't really go wrong no matter who you pick. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you had as much fun as I did, or if this was any help to you at all whatsoever, go ahead and let me know by leaving a like below, and I will catch you next time. See ya.